Imagine a 11-year-old sitting behind bars, the clang of iron gates shutting, the smell of rust and fear lingering in the air. It feels wrong, doesn't it? The very thought shakes us because childhood is supposed to mean innocence, learning, and mistakes, not prison. But here's the question that often sparks heated debate in families, schools, and courts. Can a child in India actually go to jail? Today, we are not just answer that. We also dive into what our laws really say about children who break the law, why the system is designed the way it is, and most importantly, what lessons we as individuals and as society can take from it. Let's start with the truth we all know. Childhood is messy. Kids push the boundaries, test limits, and sometimes make terrible decisions. But the law recognizes something deeper. The child's mind isn't fully developed. Neuroscience tells us the brain's decision making centers mature only in their mid 20s. That's why India has a Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children's Act of 2015. It's not about punishment, it's about reform, about giving young people a chance to find their way back. But here it's where it gets complicated. After the 2012 Delhi gang rape case, where one of the accused was a juvenile, public outrage forced the parliament to rethink. And so, under this law, if a child between 16 and 18 commits a heinous crime like rape or murder, the Juvenile Justice Board can allow them to be tried as an adult. The Supreme Court in Dr. Subramania Swamy versus Raju, a 2014 case, highlighted this tension, protecting society versus reforming the child. It is a difficult balance, and the law is constantly walking that tightrope. So, let's get clear with the law. Children under 7 years, they cannot be held criminally liable at all. Section 82 of the Indian Penal Code says so. The law assumes that they don't understand right from wrong. Now, between 7 and 12 years, it depends. If the prosecution proves that the child has enough maturity to understand the consequences, they may face proceedings. But most often, the courts lean towards protection. 12 to 16 years, they can be tried under the juvenile justice system, but never as adults. They go to observation homes, not jail. 16 to 18 years, here's a turning point. For heinous offences, the board examines the child's mental maturity. If deemed capable of understanding, they can face trial as adults in regular courts. So, can a child go to jail? Not directly. They can go to a special place, observation homes, special homes, or reformatories. Jail, as we imagine it, dark cells and hardened criminals, isn't where a child is meant to be. Let me share a story. A few years ago in Mumbai, a 17-year-old boy stole a car for a joyride. He crashed it. Luckily, no one died, but it raised the question, was this youthful mischief or a crime deserving adult punishment? The Juvenile Justice Board decided on reform, not retribution. The boy was placed in a special home, received counseling, education, and vocational training. Years later, he came back to thank the counselor. Today, he runs a garage of his own, employing others. This isn't a fairy tale, it's what the law hopes for, that mistakes don't define destinies. Think of a child as a clay pot on a wheel. At 10, 12, even 16, the clay is still wet. If it bends, you don't smash it, you reshape it. But if the law hardens too early, we risk creating broken shards instead of useful vessels. So, here's a reflection for you. Haven't we all made mistakes as teenagers? Maybe smaller, maybe bigger, but ones that could have ruined our lives if judged harshly. The law, at its best, is society's way of giving children a second chance we'd hope for ourselves. Here is where it matters for you. Parents, If your child ever gets into trouble, know your rights. A child cannot be kept in police lockup like adults. They must be produced before the Juvenile Justice Board within 24 hours. Teachers, schools should focus on counseling, not expulsion. For children who make mistakes, the law encourages rehabilitation. Teenagers, understand this. Law gives you protection, but not a license. A 17-year-old involved in a heinous crime may not get away under the juvenile time. Choices have consequences. Society at large, instead of demonizing children in the media, we need to push for better reform homes, mental health support, and vocational opportunities. Here's where it comes back to us, not as lawyers or parents, but as individuals. The law reminds us that time is our greatest teacher. Children are given space to grow because society believes in second chances. But ask yourself, are you giving yourself that space? How many of us carry the weight of our own past mistakes? If the law can forgive a 16-year-old, maybe you too can forgive yourself for that wrong turn, that mischance, that failed attempt. Like a juvenile who gets another shot at life, you too can start again. So the next time someone asks you, can a child go to jail in India? You know the answer. It's not about punishment, it's about possibility. It's not about cells, it's about second chances. And if this video made you think, reflect, or even breathe a little lighter about your own past mistakes, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a parent, a teacher. Because sometimes the right knowledge can change how we see the future. Subscribe if you want more conversations like this, where law meets life and we dig deeper than headlines. And tell me in the comments, if you could rewrite one mistake from your teenage years, what would it be? And what did it teach you? Take care. Bye.